Hey guys, Tim here, and today I'm going to do a collaboration with DJ Jake. So, okay. By the way, we're only going to go until here, the Tails Doll Curse. So let's start.
Contains flashing lights, scary and creepy content, disturbing violent and graphic images, jump scares, pop-ups and sudden loud noises. Viewer discretion advised.
Ever since video gaming became popular in the 70s and 80s, there have been creepy occurrences, hoaxes, glitches, and finally, creepypastas about the strange realm of video games.
Let's hope I get another month
They
of
have been
not
around
sleeping.
for a long time, and no matter how much we say it's just a game, it still finds a way to creep themselves back into our mind and present us with an unnerving experience after the game is turned off. Now, we are giving you our list of the top 22 gaming creepypastas.
So far, it's not that creepy. So, number 22.
Unknown format.
Unknown Format is a creepypasta, which is about how the player rips his friend's game collection, uses a torrent to download and mount the games. However, when he switches the computer to a Japanese language, all the games he plays turns into a nightmarish vision of their former selves. To top it off, this gameplay causes the player to start going insane by some of the imagery that is in place in the story. This may not be the most famous or popular creepypasta you can find, but in my opinion, it's told in a new perspective that is not commonly used in creepypastas, and that is what makes it so perfectly haunting.
Number 21. Foot lettuce.
JVK1166Z.ESP.
JVK is a creepypasta based on the game Morrowind. According to this creepypasta, if you start the game, it will crash, so you need to load it up in DOSBox. When you launch the EXE, you'll start off in a new game where all the main characters have been killed, causing the game to be unbeatable. As you wander around the sandbox, you'll notice a weird in-game creature called the Assassin that follows the player, watching you and doing generally creepy things. If you stand idle, you'll lose health, and during the whole duration of the game, you will constantly be losing health. Once the player is dead, it's said that the assassin crawls
This might be
all
a
over
lie,
the
though.
player's body
You never
and lets
know.
out a menacing screech.
Might just be using mods. That's what sucks about creepypastas. You never know if it's true or not.
The Hall of Tortured Souls.
All of
From
I
as
can't
far
read
back
cursive.
as the early 90s, the development teams at Microsoft have been slipping Easter eggs into their software.
I've used Access
Microsoft
before.
Office is very notable
Wow,
for this.
that is a
In the
very old
97
computer. Is
edition,
that like a
Rudimentary Flight Simulator,
XP?
Pinball Game, and Magic
Yeah.
8 Ball were hidden inside of Excel, Word, and Access, respectively. Then there's Excel 95, whose developers
Yeah, I use
hit a
Microsoft
creepy
Words in my
maze
classes.
game called The Hall of
I
Tortured
have to.
Souls. The title alone would be bad enough, but they went further with the addition of low-resolution shots of the
Yeah.
dev team plastered against garish red walls.
Maybe.
Super Mario 64.
Super Mario
Damned.
64.
Super Mario
read that
64
off.
Damned is your standard creepy Mario pasta
Mario.
with a few things done
No, I
right
used to watch
and
it.
a little differently.
I used to watch things
Basically,
like
as
this
the story
when I was
goes,
like
the
5.
player goes to the
Gave me
local game
nightmares.
store, and out of a pure nostalgia rush, he tries to get a Nintendo 64 and a few games for it. However, when he goes to buy it, the game owner gives it to them for free due to the complaints the old owners gave them about the game. They then head home and play it, and the creepy and gruesome events unfold.
Number 18.
Luna Game.
Luna the game.
Our Brony viewers may know about this one. The Luna game is a download that was uploaded by an unknown
I bet you that's a
individual
virus.
to the popular fan site Equestria Daily.
Most things I have
When it was uploaded, it got a rather fast reaction to its scary jump scare content, and it was taken down rather quickly. This led to EQD's new standard for submission. However, the damage was done, and the bronies who played are already scarred from the tormented soul of Apple Bloom that appears in the final splash page.
Virus?
Since the creation of Luna Game, there have been several more that have been released, but none have the initial scare factor that the first one had to offer.
Herobrine.
You know, I'm pausing this. I can't take this. I can't take this anymore. I'm not kidding. That picture really took me. Oh, let me get my blanket. No, he doesn't. He doesn't exist. I used to believe him back then, but now he just doesn't exist, man. Okay, let's go.
Herobrine, also known as Him, is believed to be the ghost of Minecraft creator Notch's brother. Pictures of Herobrine began popping up in the late summer of 2010. The most well-known and most common rendition of the rumor is that a gamer, while in single player, found an NPC with a default skin, but with white eyes. Following the encounter, strange occurrences started happening in this game, such as man-made objects appearing that he did not create, trees missing their leaves, perfect 2x2 tunnels underground lit with redstone torches, and pyramids of sand in the ocean. Soon enough, more and more Herobrine pictures were appearing on forums. Pretty soon, Notch tweeted about the subject saying, "Herobrine isn't real in any way. No, I never had a brother. Well, there's a half-brother that I never met. But he's not in the game."
I used to believe
that seemed to raise further questions, and more Herobrine pictures continued to appear afterwards.
But then I noticed
the game developers even made a joke out of it and added "removed Herobrine" at the end of some of the game's patch notes. We may never know if Herobrine is a lost soul stuck in a video game or a hoax, but it keeps us
because it was so popular back then. Like, I used to watch videos in 2014 about Minecraft. Oh my god. He's in hell.
Pokemon
Number 16.
Buried Alive.
Pokemon Buried Alive.
Buried Alive is a supposed hidden code in the original Pokemon Red and Blue versions. It replaces Cubone's mother as the boss of Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town. A battle would commence and show a horrific model of a rotting corpse reaching out of the ground. Buried Alive uses a number of high levels, so the battle can be extremely tough. If the player loses the battle against Buried Alive, he will exclaim about raw meat, followed by several lines of gibberish before proceeding to drag the player underground with him. The game over screen shows Buried Alive holding the dead corpse of the player.
Why do you have to close up on that? I shouldn't watch this at night. No, I'm gonna put a title. Don't watch at night.
The Theater.
The cereal? Oh my god.
The game in question is indeed called The Theater, and was developed by a company called Salida Software. This company made learning softwares, so the theater was probably meant to be some sort of educational entertainment game. The game was obviously never finished, probably from the lack of funding or the whole company going under. Players talked about this game coming out at
Yeah.
around the same time as Doom, back in 1993.
And what did he
Just
do?
like Killswitch, it was very obscure and very hard to find, and those who did have it denied playing it
But,
due
like,
to
did he
the
do any,
disturbing
like,
nature of the
mods
game.
or-
There was
what?
also a few bootleg copies, but none were like the original claims. The game was set in a first-person perspective, with flat sprites in a 3D environment that was extremely glitchy. The original idea was to select a movie from the posters on the wall, enter the theater, and play a minigame. But what's described in the story is what happens if you don't select a movie. If you continue to enter the theater without choosing a movie, odd,
So, how do you
sometimes
like
creepy
creepypasta?
things will happen. Glitching past mini-games like this causes variables to reach values that weren't meant to,
This is called
resulting in
scary.
things appearing where they shouldn't. It is a very well-written pasta, and we suggest you give it a listen or a read.
Maybe.
Killswitch.
Killswitch is different from your standard creepypasta, in the sense that you can't reproduce it and you can't play it, but it's still pretty damn scary. Killswitch, according to the pasta, was made by a small Czech company called Karvina Corporation. As soon as the game was completed, it erased itself, so it couldn't be played again. On top of that, there were only 5,000 copies ever made, so the game is non-existent nowadays. The game sounds rather fun with your choice of two different characters to lead through a
No,
haunted mine
I'm
that
a
just
bit
so
sick.
happens to be
And if
infested
I have
with
a
the
fever
dead.
dream of this,
But sadly, this
it'll be so
pasta is
realistic
simply
that I'll
not
just
true.
cry in
It was
the
extremely
morning.
well written by a professional writer
I'm not kidding.
with a tiny link to her site on the Creepypasta's page.
Maybe. 13.
Fallout 3, Number Station.
Number 9.
The Fallout 3 Number Station
McDonald's
is a
foot lettuce,
creepypasta
Fallout
about
3.
one of the number stations in
What's
the
wrong
game.
with Fallout 3?
On this station, the voice actor of the radio station host, Three Dog, is heard reciting strange numbers and sentences, such as, "Have you watched my YouTube videos yet? I uploaded myself kicking bombs in the nuts," followed by the numbers 2, 4, 1,
2,
6,
4, 1,
1,
6, 1, 2, 2, 4, 2, 0, 1, 2.
0, 1, 2. Other sentences said things like, "The Queen has died today.
Sorry about the background.
The world
if you can hear
mourns. As on days like these, we are all Brits," followed by 4, 2,
4, 2, 3, 1, 9, 2, 0, 4, 1, 1, 4.
4. When looking at the numbers closer, it is shown that they are all actually dates. The
Yeah.
most unnerving about this
2012.
is 120552822010 or 1205 May 28th, 2010. The date and time of the death of Gary Coleman.
Your birthday's on there.
What does this mean
Well,
about the other numbers?
My birthday's on
then?
June.
It seems only time will tell.
12.
Misfortune.gb.
Misfortune. Nothing but
Misfortune.gb
there's an upside
is
down
about a
cross.
haunted game
It's Antichrist.
for the 1989 Game Boy.
Don't go
The
in there.
story behind the game is rather vague. You play the part of a little boy wandering around in a gothic
Wait just a
building.
second. Let me see how far we're in.
While in the building,
Let's
the
go.
player meets a strange being who is implied to be the devil himself. When the player meets this creature, a text box appears that
Whoa.
says,
I just within the very favorite. Okay. You want to challenge me? Yes, sir.
you're given the option to choose yes or no. And if you pick
He will kill
yes,
you.
then the creature responds with, "Then let's begin." You will eventually come across a room containing 4 small cabins, and in this room a text box will appear that says, "Choose wrong and misfortune will befall your loved ones. Are you ready to play?"
Yeah.
If the player chooses the
Okay.
wrong cabin, the screen will cut to
Must
black,
have just been
and then a
hallucinating.
high-resolution picture of the creature will appear above a text box that reads, "Many who have played this game have suffered from depression, become jittery in everyday life, and even committed suicide. People say that the game is still available through the internet. You can go ahead and play it if you want. At your own risk, of course."
What happened? Oh.
Tails Doll Curse. The Tails Doll is a mythical
awesome
demonic
wording.
being that holds many gamers in its grip of fear. For those who don't know, the Tails Doll is a hidden character in the video game Sonic R,
Sonic.
an installment of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise created by Sega Enterprises. Sonic R was the only game that ever had the Tails Doll in it. The Tails Doll looks somewhat different than its origin. It is, of
That's a
course,
bad.
a doll with a
It
red
looks
gem
like
affixed to
just
its
a copy
forehead.
of Tails. Was it made in
Supposedly,
2015?
the curse of the Tails
2013
Doll
GTA 5 came
is that
out.
if
It's
you
even better
beat
graphics
Sonic
than this.
R completely, the Tails Doll will jump out of your TV or spontaneously appear and kill
Everything
you.
just broke.
Frequently, the song Can You Feel the Sunshine, in reverse, composed by Richard Jakes and sung by T.J. Davis, appears in accounts of the doll. If you take one step deeper into the rumor than the surface of the creepy tale, you will discover that you have found an urban legend.
Is it ended? I'm not looking. Okay. That's it we're gonna do for the video. That was creepy for most of the time. I just looked away. Yeah, I just looked away for the whole time. Did you? I didn't even put on my headphones. So like whatever comes out on the on the video comes out on the headphones. Well, that's gonna be it with our video on 22 creepypastas. Check out this guy. That's the top video. 7 years ago. This was made 7 years ago, but go check it out if you want to watch the whole thing. We're too scared to watch the whole thing, everyone. So. Alright. Bye bye.